Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the Sinnoh Cup, which just got released, and we have a strong team here with Gastrodon in the lead, which struggled sadly a little bit against Frostless. I put every game in there which I played with this. It's 3 sets, total like 15 games here right now. And you're gonna see how good this team gonna be and where it has some flaws, but I don't actually know really how to fix those flaws. Maybe you can tell me in the comment section, maybe something like Dark type in the back instead of the Bombers. No, I don't know, both of them. Definitely this team's still fine. Like I went 10 and 5 with this team, but it struggles a little bit against Frostless Say Swap, which you also like see here. Like you don't really have anything against Frostless as a Say Swap other than your own Frostless. It's like less than ideal, and I actually didn't expect that many Frostless in this meta. Main reason because of like all the Bastion, but actually Bastion was next to nowhere and Frostless was everywhere. So here we actually see the Bastion, but doesn't really matter. Or Snail actually wrecks everything anyway, so it doesn't matter at all. This was the first battle I played, like as I said before, like it gets always randomized. And this dude has like the spiciest team that I've ever seen. Like props to you. I don't know why you didn't shield this, because I think that would have been your win con. Shielding like twice then farm me down, or like shielding once and then make it to a move. Here he has Gallade against me as well. Horned Crow, Gallade, and a Fire Fang Hippowdon. Definitely a spice a lot. And at this point, we're just gonna sack swap this Gastrodon. Like it doesn't do anything for me. Cannot do anything against Horned Crow, cannot do anything against Gallade. And I make a crucial mistake here. I thought I might win CMP against them, but actually, Abominable stats for the Great League are pretty defensive. So you nearly always lose CMP and stuff, which is kind of crazy. But here it's still going to be enough to win this game. It's a good game to my opponent. We can farm him down there, and yeah, Obama was actually still pretty decent. So like it's kind of a tough choice. It's only really the problem that I saw was like Frostless Say Swap, which kind of annoyed me. I actually think I lose against this dude. Also had Frostless Say Swap again. It's like kind of tough to deal with, to be honest, with this team. Yeah, just try to put him low enough that I can just go straight for Avalanche the whole time and can win this game, but I still haven't figured out like any strategy which I do against the Frostless Say Swap. Do I stay in, throw some moves? Do I swap out immediately into my own Frostless? Do I swap into my Abomasnow? I think I tried once with Abomasnow swap in after staying in for a little with my other Pokemon, with my Gastrodon. I think that went better, but in total, like at the end, it's like always kind of tricky. Here I expect my opponent to have something very good against my Gastrodon in the back already. I think it's like most likely the Drifblim. There were a lot of Drifblims which counter Gastrodon, of course, but Gastrodon still was definitely a Pokemon that I would recommend you invest in for this cup. It's like really nice to have. You can also use something like Rhyperior, I guess, but it's not going to be as good, especially against those. Yeah, here we have no chance at all against those fighting types. Rhyperior just like struggles a little bit more, and it's not as bulky. Here we have a really bad lead, but we can just go into our Frostless, and my opponent thinks, Gliscor, like ground flying type, definitely the best option against ice type. Totally agreed with my opponent, but it actually gets, I think, 2 shields from me here, which wasn't that bad, I guess, considering that I have another Pokemon in the back that's ice type, and which would most likely do a little bit more damage, but I needed to remain switch advantage there because the Abomasnow, I don't really want to face it with my Snail. So we're just gonna go for some nice Avalanche here. I should put him very low already. And here still for, I think even... Oh, my opponent tries to catch there, totally fine for me. We have an answer for the Toxic Rock anyway. But like, yeah, he has to go for an... What's it called? Even Energy Ball still to KO me, but I don't think it does even go to that. We can just farm down here with the Snail. Oh, we go for the move, it's gonna be the Weather Ball, gonna KO me. But like, we still have 2 Pokemon left, and Abomasnow just goes in and my opponent surrenders. Good game there. I climbed like 70 points, I think, in 3 sets. I guess it's like totally fine. Like for me, I always feel like so bad or embarrassed when I go 10 and 5 with a new team where I think it's such a good team. Even though, like, if you think about it, 66% win rate, and this is way more than you should ever really expect from a team. Like usually you have around like, I don't know, 55% win rate if you're pretty decent. Like I think right now I'm actually 57% win rate or something, but I already forfeit like 200 games this season alone, where I just gave my opponent wins so I can tank Elo. Actually gonna be interesting if the championship's gonna take place. I would actually go to the Frankfurt one because like I'm from Germany, so it would be okay-ish for me, even though I'm not from the area to go there. Would be really cool for content. But like with COVID right now, they already canceled some tournaments. Gonna be interesting if we're gonna see that. But yeah, I can show how good I actually am, because I like, for me, of course, I always get legend pretty easily. I always go to the leaderboards pretty high if I want to, but I always also tank, so I never know if I can really compete still with the top of the top. But I also don't really want to do this, as, yeah, it's not really cool to stay in the queue for ages, and not really good for content anyway. I don't really have the time for that. So it would be very interesting to see those tournaments. Here against the Gastrodon lead, usually what I do is I swap after 5 quick moves into my Frostless, because Frostless would take literally no damage from Body Slam. But the problem there, like, is like in general, like, your Abomasnow is way better against the Gastrodon anyway, so it doesn't really matter in that case. And then you still have your Gastrodon, which is just a neutral matchup, so they lose nothing from switching after 5 moves, and you're gonna be able to maybe even catch a Body Slam. I think I did this once. Here my opponent had the Frosters in the back, which was very annoying for me. I get the shield there, I'm gonna swap out in time, but it's still gonna be a little bit tough. We have the Avalanche start right now. Can he farm me down? He does try to farm me down at least. We can go for the energy ball. Gonna be able to get a shield there. My opponent has to throw here against my little snail boy. And I think we still survive this. The sad thing about my... Oh, we actually get to the earth powder. Sad thing about my snail. You see on the right side my AV spread. I needed 1 more power up, and then like 1 more power up would get me to exactly 1501. That's always so annoying. Yeah, here's like the case where I catch the Body Slam. So basically I have a Body Slam still stored on my own. And even this matchup is so good for Frostless. Frostless is actually, like, I underestimated Frostless in general. Like, I had a lot of teams in my team building guide for this, what's it called, for this cup. Like, if you haven't checked this out, definitely check it out. But I didn't expect it to be that good, but like Frostless is definitely most likely the best Pokemon in the cup. Next to Gastrodon and something like Toxic Rogue or something. Bunchlegs is also really cool. It annoys me really to play against because it's so bulky. Like, you see how little this does really, and it still does a lot of damage with a lick and Body Slam. But yeah, like in general, I definitely like this team. Like 10-5, what do you really like? You cannot really argue about this. Definitely a solid team. But it kind of always bothers me if a team isn't perfect. Like, for me, a team is perfect if there's not really a situation where you think, okay, this Pokemon is common, they cannot do anything against us. Like, never ever you're gonna be able to build a team that completely destroys everything and has no counters. I mean, I guess that happened to me once in my life, and that was when I had like the crazy run in the Ultra League. Oh, I don't even know the name anymore. Ultra League Premier Cup, when it first came out. We also like ranked 1 in the world with like nearly 100 points above rank 2. But yeah, like, this doesn't happen a lot of times. But for me, like, a perfect team is just a team where no matter what happens, really, you can at least handle a negative lead usually, and like a certain say swap, which is like common in the meta. If you cannot really handle a say swap that's common in the meta, it's kind of tricky. So for me, this kind of always bothers me, even though I have good results with this team. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe you know something what you can use instead of the Abomasnow in the back for the Frost Say Swap. Thought maybe Drapion in the back is a closer. Here, by the way, this is also crazy. Look at this matchup, by the way. I have literally no chance against this thing. It resists every move like crazy. It's so bulky, it does so much damage against me. It has super effective moves against me. It doesn't really look too good here for us against this Wormadam, but thanks to the game being a little bit still bugged, we're gonna be able to deny all the quick moves, which gonna be able to KO this thing in time. We still have enough HP to get to another move. And here's, by the way, also where like inconsistency with the quick moves and stuff like this is still like seen. Like, I made a video why 2022 gonna be very cool for Go Battle League on general Pokemon Go. What a lot of people didn't really understand there. I know that the current state is trash. Like, I'm not gonna say like that this state is like the perfect state of the game. I don't. Like, I'm not sponsored or anything. Like, this would be if I take money or whatever. I don't. I know that the current state is bad, but like, I think it's kind of good if you look into the future with some hope, if there is some hope. And right now we have finally some hope after basically 1.5 years of a buggy gameplay. So like, I kind of want to more have a positive vibe than like crying about everything all the time. If I actually have some hope at least, which I didn't really have for the last 3 months, where I also were like a little bit more negative about the game. But like right now, there's a lot of cool things which most likely happen to the game, so I'm rather looking forward than back. And yeah. Here we have Frosters against us. I'm gonna farm all the way down. I think I have to keep the switch advantage here anyway, so at least his Frosters is gone, but like still not gonna be nice and pulling against me. And I think at this point I already know what he has in the back, which is gonna be the Driftblim, which we have no chance against anymore. I'm not gonna get to the move here, which is kind of annoying, and there's a thing that you can consider as well. Maybe you want to run the Water Pulse instead of the Earth Power on the Gastrodon. Main reason for this is Driftblim. Like literally only reason for this Driftblim. Earth Power, totally the better move usually, but like you cannot hit Driftblim at all, so like at this point you can just surrender and like there's nothing you can do anymore. Good game to my opponent. Decent lead with Gastrodon, of course, like the lead doesn't really matter too much, but I want to keep this alignment, so what I have to do here is shield, even though like, yeah, okay, this is such a good matchup for me. I have to shield the Night Slash, otherwise he could shield and farm me down. So yeah, there's actually the benefit if you have a non-shadow, a Bomber Snow, I think then you should be able to no shield and still win the game, or win the matchup in general. But here my opponent has a Gallade in the back, and my opponent makes a pretty decent play there. And he's gonna win this game actually with a very interesting team. So congrats to him there. Gallade is a closer in this team, which is kind of crazy, but he's gonna be able to farm me all the way down. I was hoping that he throws and I might be able to farm down with my Snail. But he just farms me all the way down, and this Snail is not going to be able to survive his single Leaf Blade, so no chance for that. My opponent goes for the Moonblast here. I just want to keep this alignment there, and I know that I won't CMP, so what I'm going to do now is I go for the Avalanche, even though he has like a lot of energy and like it was not really necessary as I could have farmed him down. He has the Bastion in the lead, and Bastion in the lead is something that you don't really want to face with the Frostless. We're gonna be able to align our Pokemon still, and I think, yeah, there's gonna be a Drifblim in the back. And bye-bye, this is gonna be a good game. I know that this is an ISO win, so I'm gonna let it go. And there's nothing my opponent can do anymore. Good game there. Next up, Fighting type lead, totally fine for Gastrodon. Like, this is the cool thing about Gastrodon. Here's like the bad thing about this team, like Froster say swap. I think this was the thing where I tried to go at, this was I think the thing where I thought of trying to always do this. Yeah, I stayed in there basically, put him to half health, and then went into my Bomber Snow, no shielding the Avalanche, and I'm gonna be able to go for 2 Weather Balls in time with my AV spread, which is super defensive but not really a lot of HP, so I think there are better AV spreads even. Gonna survive with 1 HP and I'm gonna be able to align my Pokemon perfectly, and look at the matchup that my Frost is gonna have here against my opponent. Whew, beautiful. And I actually nearly screw this game still. Because my opponent here gonna be able to farm me down before I get to the Body Slam, which is really bad, and we're gonna see Peter here, which is even worse. What's also gonna happen now, I'm not gonna be able to get a quick move through. Which, I mean, yeah, it's like, I do that to my opponents as well sometimes, but like, it's supposed to go through. But we're still gonna win because we win CMP here. And this is gonna be a good game to my opponent, well played there. Next up, we're gonna have Gastrodon against Toxicroak. Very decent matchup against this for us. I can't even talk anymore. For us against this, that's what I want to say. And we're gonna be able to farm all the way down. You even saw me getting the extra move through there. I think he was at 2 Mud Bombs already, but doesn't really matter. We sneak the move through. And here, look at this. And this is the cool thing about this team though. Like, you have something in the back that doesn't really want to face a Bastion. And then you have the Frosted Sailor, which just get it out, get him low enough, and you have the hardest counter to the Bastion in the lead. And there's nothing they can do anymore, and it's just so beautiful. So I think like something like Drapion would be a good replacement instead of the Bomber Snow for you in the back if you want to be a little bit more safe against the Frosters. Even this thing is not safe though, so I don't know, maybe even you could even actually play Bastion in the back, I think. Which would be crazy, but I think it might be even better. Bastion in the back would be also fine. Next up, Driftblim against us. Very not so nice. My opponent goes into Empoleon, also not really good. Basically, you have to hope at this point of time that Bomber Snow can win against whatever he has in the back as well. What I'm gonna do here is try to get him a little bit lower so I can maybe get some nice farm with a Bomber Snow against him, but he was still too high, I think, when I joined in. What I should have done here, I am stupid. Okay, I made a mistake there. It's the last game as well. I should have went into my Bomber Snow. I would have got so much farm already because he threw. And let's see what he has in the back. I think it was Munchlax. Oh yeah, I think I could have been able to win this game actually if I played it better. This is on me. This is definitely on me. I should have went into my Bomber Snow farm down the Empoleon, would have been able to get so much energy already. I don't think he would have been able to get to another move, and then we would have aligned Pokemon a little bit better. With Water Pulse again, I would have been better off against the Drifloon as well, but like this, we're gonna lose this last game here of this video. I still hope you enjoyed this video. It's definitely a team I can recommend to you. And I hope you have like, a lot of fun in the Sinnoh Cup right now. I think it's a really cool meta because it's so fast paced, and see you in the next video. Bye!